Real estate transactions are tough.
Yeah,
that's what we were starting with. I was just saying, watching his in the office. He rents an office from me. It's just like, the deal's literally right here on the goal line, and then someone's like, "I don't want the house." You're like, "What?"
Yeah.
You just like went through a 3-month inspection, and like other than out of nowhere, someone asked for like a $12 credit, and you're like, "Oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you $12." You're like, "What?"
Dude, it is an emotional roller coaster, to say the least.
I just did it with our house.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
You don't know. It's like, you got to get that check in your hand before, like, even the day of closing, an hour before, things can go awry, and you're like, "Are you kidding me?" But once you get the check and you know it's official, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
I think.
A lot of times you are selling someone, an asset and helping them secure something that is for the lifestyle that they desire. Anytime we buy a house, it goes back to that American dream.
Yeah.
Right.
Even us in this new transaction that we're going into, we're so excited to hopefully get this off-market deal, fingers crossed, and start our new life that we've dreamed of 10 years ago when Kelly and I got together.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great feeling, and you do get to be a part of that. And you get paid.
Yeah.
And if you had an agent help you find that house, they become ingrained in your story. It's like they're a part of it, because unless you found it and they just happen to.
Trevor did find it for me. Yeah.
So it's like then all those memories that you're creating and the experiences you have there, it comes back to the fact that
you're
like
thankful
that realtor,
to them.
Yeah. So that I honestly love that aspect of it. Yeah, the money's great and the freedom and stuff, but like when people are like, "Thank you so much," you have no idea, and they're emotional. Yeah. You feel like you did something
and
right.
And you put them in like a good financial position.
Yeah.
Like, you got a good deal on this place. You guys are going to be good.
Dude, we all have the best time ever to start a small business.
If I'm not going to be 100% in, I'm not going to do it.
Come on, man, just be yourself.
Yeah,
and just show up as yourself.
If you don't realize what I'm really about, I'm about freedom, family, and my country.
Guys, welcome to the pit.
Nice, man. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. It was a strange way that we met.
Yeah.
We were up in Wyndham. We rented one house mainly for the whole winter and had certain dates set to do that. And the storm was coming in, which actually never came. So I wanted to extend it. I was like, this house looks awesome. I reached out to Lindsay, and she was able to get us in there for 4 days, which was awesome. Great property you have up there, amazing view.
Thanks, man.
Very private. You got the nice state trail that goes up behind you. Took the truck up there. So that's how we met. And then she's like, "Hey, you guys love America. We love America."
Right on.
Sure.
My husband and my brother have a really cool Instagram going on, something they started for like a little passion project, and it's coincidentally, helped you grow your real estate business. You guys are in the real estate space, but it's kind of taken a mind of its own. You're thinking maybe one day I can maybe monetize something that we really love and we're passionate about, which is acting and comedy and bringing smiles to people's faces. So I thought that was super interesting. Why not have you on the podcast? You're Jersey guys. We're here at the shore. So thank you for coming. Cheers. You guys are drinking water tonight.
Awesome,
I'm going to go with
cheers.
a bourbon.
Cheers,
no
man.
water.
Doing a little bit of a dry, I guess, I don't know, March, but
That's great.
yeah.
It's good stuff. I do that every once in a while. I need a reset.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the background of both of you. So brother-in-laws.
Yes.
Yep.
Right?
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Did you guys grow up in the same area, or?
Good. You want to?
So we actually, our parents went to high school together. My parents and Ryan's dad. So we kind of knew each other, or knew of each other. Like, I knew their last name, they knew my last name, but I don't know if we ever actually hung out or met. But our parents went to high school together, so they were at a party one night, and my mom and Ryan's sister, Lindsay's mom, were at, his mom. But they were out at a party, and they were like, "Oh, my son's single," and she said, "My daughter's single." And it's like, "Oh, never know. Maybe they'll like each other." And I was like, "Mom, do not set me up with your friend's daughter."
It's the Italian mom setting you up all the time.
What if I lose interest?
The first date goes down. When's the wedding?
Exactly. But no.
Just joking, Mom.
I wound up meeting Lindsay, and we started dating, and then I met Ryan. And the day I met Ryan, I actually remember more than the day I met Lindsay. No, I'm kidding. But I met Ryan, and we just clicked. He was just a super positive guy. We were into the same reading material, into the same, law of attraction. all that kind of stuff. Like we vibed.
Positivity.
And,
Yeah.
So you guys read, you know, what's your
Secret,
you read The Secret?
Bob Proctor.
Yeah, all the
Think and
Bob
Grow
Proctor.
Rich.
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich, yeah. I have
Abraham
that book in
Hicks.
my car. Things Seen Hell. It's highlights everywhere, lines
Yeah.
under it, but
You know,
That's
I love that stuff. That's really how I got myself kicked out of, you know, my situation as a young guy. I was kicked out of high school and didn't know the direction I was going. Always knew I'd do something, and
Yeah.
I read The Secret. I was
it's
like, you can kind of
awesome.
put this stuff into, you know, the universe, and people poo-poo that stuff. You're crazy. How am I here? You know, big guy upstairs and some positivity.
dude, I
right.
say all the time, I have a 7-year-old, I'm like, babe, let's take him out of school, we'll just have him read a couple of those
Yeah.
books, watch that movie, I go, he'll be set.
Yeah, and let him go to work.
Yeah.
It's true.
Exactly.
So, what town were you guys in?
I grew up in Totowa. It's in Passaic County.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an East Hanover guy.
East Hanover.
Morris County.
Are you guys still there?
We
Yeah.
actually now live in East Hanover, and Ryan is making his way back to East Hanover. So
Good.
I'm like you, I'm a nomad. We
Yeah,
sold our
floating.
house, we went and rented on the lake, and we found an opportunity to fix, and we're back
You're
in
doing your
East Hanover.
thing. Yeah, there's nothing
yeah.
wrong with that. That's a true entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know, jumping off that cliff without the umbrella.
Yeah, no security.
Without the yeah.
Nothing steady, just
So, this whole thing starts with you guys really just enjoying, you know, the acting world. Were you both into acting your whole lives? Were you just into comedy? You know, were you big on movies? Like, how did it all
Yeah.
come together?
Now, can we hit the story?
yeah, of course.
So, like, well, wait. So, hold on. We'll rewind for a sec, just to get into how Mike jumped into real estate. So they met, and you want to tell this part?
Well, yeah, I was always into acting. I did theater. I did some commercials. I was doing some professional type, you know, commercials and TV and whatnot. And Ryan you were always into comedy, right? Like, as far as, you know.
Big Always Sunny fan.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Seinfeld.
No, but well, why don't you tell them how you got into real estate, and then how I got in, and how we kind of joined forces.
So I was like a corporate guy. Not that I was a corporate guy, but forced to kind of go to college. Didn't want to. Did it. Got a degree. Got a job at ADP. I was like the corporate cancer, in the sense that I was like, guys, what are we doing here? We got to get out of here. Like, this can't be life. Yeah, and they're like, just shut up and get on the phone. And so I eventually got out of there, got into real estate, started doing really well, but just took a leap. Like, I had a house, we were gonna have a baby, and I'm like, fuck it, let's just go all in, and it has to work. It's the universe. Like, you take that step, it has to reward you. And it did, eventually, with a lot of hard work. And then Mike and Lindsay started dating, and he saw how much fun I was having, just because it was like, they say, like, you know, you're not working 8 hours, you're working 24 hours, but there's something different about working for yourself and not having to punch a clock. So I think that sparked him into getting into real estate.
So I got to take you back to something you said at the beginning of that, is you were forced to go to college. Now, this is something I talk about a lot with kids, because our parents want the best for us, and a lot of times they've been more or less trained by the system. We'll call it that. That might sound negative, but you know, they are rule followers in that generation, and a lot of them have done well, gave us all great lives. We love what they have done for us, but sometimes they give us limiting beliefs. And I'm not saying that was your parents, but why were you forced to go to college? Because I talk about this a lot.
No, yeah, it's a great point. So, like, my dad was the first of his family to go, so it was a big deal.
Important to him.
Yeah, and he did extremely well, and we had a great childhood, vacations, and all that stuff. So, to your point, he was looking out for you and saying, like, I know this worked, so just
this
do
is
this
the route.
first. Yeah. He's like, then you could do whatever, but he's always been a big believer in, like, following what you feel passionate about, but that was always like the
college. Well, it was kind of the barrier of entry, you know, for a long time. Now that's gone away a lot. You know, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, a bunch of the big tech companies over the past like 15 months have been like, you don't need a college degree to work here.
Wow,
you know,
I didn't know that, but are they even doing that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
You know, there's still I want a doctor to go to college, a teacher who's teaching my kid, a lawyer needs to know the law.
Right.
But there's certain fields that if you're good at it and you have that natural talent, you guys are great at acting, comedy, and what you're doing, you could probably do that without college, right?
Oh,
Right.
for sure.
So I was just pursuing your dreams, pursuing your passion. There's nothing wrong with school either. A lot of people who go to school are ultra successful.
Sure.
I was just curious about being forced to go.
Yeah.
So you guys meet. You said, "Hey, get in the real estate game."
Yeah, I was a school teacher. I was teaching elementary, and I was kind of like wanted to make more money. I was thinking about getting engaged, and we were at they have a shore house, and I just remember him like wheeling, dealing, and he was telling me the money he was making. I'm like, I gotta like
what am I doing?
something. I'm making like, like I liked being a teacher. I liked having the summers off, but like I just wanted to make more money and have more freedom. Like stop staying on the same schedule every day. So I remember sitting in the summer, I'm like, I'm gonna get my real estate license, I'm gonna work with Ryan. And then I took the classes, got passed the test, got the license, then I'm like, all right, now what? Like, what do we do? And Ryan's like, now we just, we got like, he's very like, no, don't worry, like it's gonna come. And I remember like,
It's in the universe.
I was like, Ryan,
Yeah, we put it out there. It's
Yeah.
coming.
you took your step.
like,
It's
don't worry
coming.
about it. I'm like, no, I need to make fucking money. Like I just like left my safe, regular pay job.
Yeah, I'm
Now
used to the crack. The crack's
Yeah.
gone. Give me the
Yeah.
crack back.
But that's when
It's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
I ramped up that's when I really got into more like law of attraction and The Secret and like writing things down and all that, like,
Manifesting it.
I wanted to tell you this story. I read actually I forget who it was, but I'll think of it. But I put $1 bill on my ceiling and I changed all four corners of the $1 bill to 100,000, 100,000, 100,000,
yeah.
100,000. I was like, I'm gonna make $100,000. I want to see it in my bank account because I was gonna propose and I wanted to like have some money.
Your setup.
And so every night before bed, I'm looking at the ceiling, $1 bill that says 100,000, and then the first thing I wake up, I see it, and I'm like, picture it. But I had no clue how
get
I
it.
would get that money. Like I'd have to like teach, get a master's, become the principal, and then I would make 100,000. But I wasn't teaching anymore. So anyway, I wound up like seeing on a website to apply for the $100,000 pyramid. So you know where this is going. I clicked to apply, try out, go through the whole process, land on the game show, and I won the 100,000 within like 6 months.
No shit.
It was like
Wow.
the truest manifestation I've ever experienced, and I have to tell that story because it's like now I know
This is real.
works.
Yeah.
There's not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
You can,
I didn't know that part.
yeah,
So what show was it?
it was the $100,000 pyramid with Michael Strahan.
No shit.
Yeah.
And
I'll
his
send-
How many years ago was that?
Turtle from Entourage.
Yeah, did you watch Entourage?
Yeah, it was great. It's
He's the
best show ever.
coolest dude.
Yeah.
He's an awesome guy.
That's
He
hilarious.
allowed me to win it, so
Well, how many years ago was that?
I think it was 5 years ago.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And that was the beginning of your real estate career.
Yeah, because then I was able to.
What a
now I
great
have-
blessing to have a
Yeah.
safety net.
And then because I didn't make any money the first like 9 months of the real estate, so then I felt like, all right, I blew a lot of that, but I was able to kind of like sustain for that year. And then as I started getting clients, it like got me through. So it was like a blessing, like at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teachers are another one, and I don't spend a ton of time on it. My wife's a teacher. Teachers are a blessing. They've been just beat down.
Yeah.
They have no ability to, hold the rules. They have no kids respect them, and it's a shadow of what it was even when we were going to school. Whether that was right or wrong either, I don't know. But more people need to realize they can go leave their jobs and make $100,000.
Absolutely.
Your pension is not that big of a deal. Your health insurance benefit as a cop is not that big of a deal. Like, that's what keeps you miserable for life, when you know you're getting soul sucked every day.
Yeah.
Anybody can go do what you did. So kudos to you for taking that leap. I mean, that's the nugget people need to take away. Like,
Thanks,
as a
man.
teacher, yes, he's got some background in acting and stuff, but this guy said, I'm going to go do it, and is now doing it even at a higher level. So that's awesome.
Yeah, totally agree. It took a while because I wanted to leave for a few years before I actually had the guts to do it.
Scary.
It was so scary, and there was a time where I remember, not to get into this, but like I remember Lindsay was working and she left my apartment one morning and she was like going to work and she's like, oh, what are you going to do today? Because this was after I quit and didn't have my license yet. I was in like that limbo. and I had nothing to do.
Yeah.
And I lied and said like, oh, I got to do some things, but I really didn't know. Like I was like, I have to figure something out.
What am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're all figuring it out.
Right.
I'm still figuring it out. I'll always be figuring it out. You guys be figuring it out. You're figuring out social media now, and what do I do with this thing that's blowing up? And which direction do I want to take it? So we're always figuring it out. Sure. And if you're willing to figure it out and just not quit, that's where you're going to win. And I like to win personally.
Yeah,
that's great advice.
So again, background, you have some acting. Like, how did this all start?
So all that led up to, so
we're working together now.
Yeah, first day in the office, and I'm like, I don't have any system set up. I'm like, I just
call people.
Called and knocked on doors and just, all the stuff that goes along with it. So when somebody asks you first day, like, what do you do? I'm like, I don't know. And it just kind of happens over time. But my sister, who's our PR rep, who's behind the scenes, texted me, was like, just film a video where you ask Mike to get you a cup of coffee, like you're the boss. And I'm like, nah, that doesn't sit well. Like, I would never do that, and I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable, so I'm not doing it.
She's saying like a snap.
Yeah, like just to fuck around.
Yeah, something funny.
Yeah. But I'm like, nah, I can't. And then I go, Mike, why don't we just film this, script it out, and just, I don't know, film it. We'll send it back to my sister.
Yeah.
And
now, what was your intention of it? Was that to post something online for business?
Not even that. Just to send back to her, like, this is what we came up with.
Something funny.
Right. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, it would be funny if, like, I ask you and then you look at me, and then, because in my mind then I started picturing the whole scene. I'm like, we'll cut. And then we'll cut back to my face like it's a stare down. It's like a minute of back and forth. And we film that, and then...
She loved it.
Yeah, we posted it for no reason. And then all of a sudden we started getting people like, this is hilarious, this is great. And it kind of snowballed.
Like, why not create a show that, like, I remember posting like why not create a real estate sketch comedy show, like Property Brothers-in-Law, because we thought the Property Brothers, and then we're brothers-in-law.
Yeah.
Have they reached out yet?
Their lawyers sent the no.
No, they haven't. We hope. I mean,
Property Brothers-in-Law. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of rolls.
We didn't even know how to spell brother. Remember, we put brother-in-laws, and they were like, oh no, that's not right.
I've been saying it wrong my whole life. Yeah.
I probably say it wrong too.
Basically, like, when we started posting them too, if we can get this message across to people, is we got the people that laughed and liked it, and then you got your guys on the side like, dude, nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody's going to give you business. You guys look like clowns. You're this and that, and like trying to...
Were those people close to you that were saying that?
Yeah, it's all friends. And
family?
Circle. It was more so like friends, like other guys. They're not even in the business. They're in different things. And
just so instantly, and that's a big thing that I like to talk about. We'll get yourself out there online. Like, that's an instant jealous reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you know about real estate and how no one's going to take me serious? Just like everybody who told me, who was older than me, oh, you're going to go out there and tell your story, how you come from nothing, you were kicked out of high school, and you have all these millions of dollars of clients' money. I'm like, yeah. Have I added value to them? Are they happy? Did they leave yet? So if anybody leaves, like, everybody was like, that's awesome, Ryan, and that's great.
Yeah.
And then there was the haters on the other end who didn't understand what I was doing.
Yep.
But it's, you got to just do you.
That's
totally.
That's 100% it. Is we just said, then don't watch the videos. You know what I mean? Tell you, like, we're making them, we're having fun doing them, and we're gonna put them out.
Yeah, why are you mad at me?
Yeah, but I know so many people that will stop. Like, somebody just says, like, that's the stupidest handle for Instagram, and all of a sudden the account disappears. It's like, dude, don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Do whatever's making you happy.
Yeah, do you. Yeah, I talk about that all the time.
A good friend of mine was like, dude, you're gonna have people that you're selling their house, and it's like, $500,000. Like, they're gonna want someone who's very like serious and polished. And not that I am like serious. I know what I'm doing. I take my business very serious. But like, I'm also big into making people laugh and feeling good. Like, I love just kind of being like
yourself.
Yeah, like, just, I always like to act, I always like to perform. Ryan did as well, and now we were able to kind of like, synergize that, where we can still have a good business, but also, make,
So
funny
that
videos.
person, and we're not mad at him, right? You probably still love
No,
him.
not at all.
But that person who said that to you, what is his background? What does he do?
Well, I'm related to him, so I don't want to call him out because he's a great brother. But I remember my brother saying, like, you should be careful because, you don't want to be. But I think now, though, he's like my biggest fan. Like, he's always saying,
And
it's so funny, you guys are the best.
But
and,
think about if you allowed that limiting belief
Right, exactly.
to deter you from doing what you're doing. And again, that's a complete limiting belief. Oh, you got to dress a certain way, drive a G-Wagon, do this to sell high-end real estate. Why? Because the real estate show on TV says that?
Yeah.
Right.
I show up in cowboy boots and a flannel and I'll roll over $10 million or, do a crazy, estate planning deal with some of the wealthiest people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't deviate. This is me.
100%.
I can't be smart because I'm not wearing a suit. I can't be good at real estate because I like to do some comedy on social media.
Right.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't do business with me because of that, that's an automatic great filter that I don't want to deal with that person.
I say that all the
He's-
time.
You guys, that's very funny. You said that to me this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, thank you for cutting through all the bullshit
Yeah.
and wasting all the time. I know that we're not going to work together.
Yeah, you're like a miserable person.
Yeah.
If you're mad at me because I like
Very
to do
good
some
point.
comedy online, and this has nothing to do with my ability to walk you through this transaction properly.
100%.
So that's funny. Good for you guys just going and doing it.
And we're at the point where we have people now who are like, we'll only list our house with you guys if you promise to make a video in it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Listen, that's a great way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny enough, there's a buddy, Phil Rizzo. I've known the guy since high school. He follows you guys actually.
Oh, really?
And about a year and a half ago, he's like, Ryan, help me. He's straight Italian, dude. He can be right off The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, well, you just post, just listed, just sold. I don't give a fuck what you sold or what you listed, bro.
Yeah.
You're like every other square backboard out there in the real estate game. Do something different. And he's like, well, what do you think? I'm like, do the entrance of The Sopranos, but in the area that you sell. So coming off the Parkway, getting the exits,
I think I've seen this.
doing it.
Genius.
I put it in. We borrowed our other buddy's grandma's Lincoln that was black. The thing was in mint condition, bro. I wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
I come off the exit 98, show the spot,
safely.
Joe Leone's and
Yeah.
all the things, right? And it blew up for him, and he never continued doing it. I was like, dude, you got stupid eyes on you from that one video that you did, and it's been shared. I don't even know how many times. I'm like, you could continue to do that. It's fun, and it's going to drive eyes to your business for you to do whatever it is you want to do with them.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's
100%.
You have people coming in there going, hey, you want to do it in my house? That gives you a place that's a different backdrop than maybe where you guys shot the last few videos. You want to switch it up, like
Yep.
you're still doing what you guys like, and hey, I'm selling a house at the
And
same
we
time.
are working. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still working. We're still selling. And
Yeah.
we know what we're doing.
He made a video when we opened our office in East Hanover, and even I was like, you should be careful, because I thought he did a whole video where he went around town. He jumped in the town pool in a full suit, went down the slide. I think it was April, it was closed. But I remember 2 days later after you posted it, some guy walked in. Nobody really walks in anymore. Usually it's they reach out, But it was such a good video for the town, because everybody's like, oh, I saw it in the Facebook group, and they'll forget what you post specifically,
Yeah.
but they won't forget how you made them feel when you post it.
Correct.
So that's why I try not to, because I could be a little bit more reserved in ways, but I try not to get too hung up on oh, maybe we shouldn't say that and do that anymore, because I feel like people forget the actual content. They just know that oh yeah, those are the two guys, they're funny.
It's like to me, I'm like, you're the guy that does the fireside chats.
Yeah.
You're the guy that does those events.
People have short attention spans.
Yeah.
They only can, remember
Yeah, I think we all overthink. We're obviously our harshest critics, and now we're turning on the camera and memorializing it and putting it out there for the metaverse.
True.
But if you're just, again, I don't really care what anybody thinks about me. I'm
100%.
I'm in competition with myself. I look to improve every day as a human,
Yep.
as a dad, as a business owner. So if you got some shots to throw my way, I hope you're doing better than me. If not, you're a new target for me to go beat. You're a new barometer.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. So putting yourself out there is the biggest form of
freedom.
yeah, I don't
Right?
really care. politics, right? It comes up a lot on this show. People are like, oh, you shouldn't really say that. And I'll get them. It's a lot of old heads. It's a lot of people who are corporate people.
Yep.
And I'm like, maybe in your job with what you do, working for, a pharma company,
Where
and
they're telling you what you
yeah,
can
they're
and
telling
can't
you
do.
what to do, and you're bashing vaccines publicly. Like, okay, that might put you in a bad position. Me, I have options.
Right.
Yeah.
Freedom is options, and I could do whatever I want and say whatever I want. And it's a pretty freeing thing. Now, again, does that put yourself out there for people to poke holes in you? You just have to have thick enough skin.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be totally honest. Like, it's tough because I always am. This is it's a 100% commission job, so I try to remain as positive as possible with like money's always coming in, but like I always am like, well, I want to make sure that like sometimes I don't piss somebody off, so I try to stay very like
Neutral.
middle of the road, and but because I don't want somebody to think like, oh, I would work with him, but I don't agree with his politics or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to think a lot different now, be more authentic. Not that I have to be like, in your face constantly, but if, be true to myself, true to my values. And you taught us, and when we were talking before, like, you have to be authentic. People connect with that. People want to work with people that they feel aligned with, that they trust. And I'm totally on the same page.
So you guys are doing your next, you guys are doing your next video in MAGA hats, you're telling me?
Yeah, that's when you bring that up.
He wanted to wear one today.
You should have, dude. I got mine in my truck. Dude.
I was gonna rock my 1776 We the People and the MAGA hat.
Listen.
I'm more open with it, and I'm like the extreme end of him. And everything Mike says, I think, is strategically smart. It makes sense. But then I have this side where I'm like, I don't give a fuck what.
Yeah.
If everybody's like, I'm never buying a house from you again, what we were talking about off camera. Okay, well now I got to pivot and do something else, but we'll make it work. We'll come up with something.
But again, I always say this, there's 14 million people in Jersey.
Yeah.
So let's say 50% of them are, think the way that we think.
Right.
I would say when they've seen what's going on over the last 3 years, 5 years, they are more so rocking our way than more people are rocking their way.
Agreed.
So if I got 50% of 14 million, that's 7 million. I can make a lot of money.
Dude, I'll tell you, I get more responses and reactions from my pro-Trump and all that stuff than I do with pictures of my kids or my kid and houses and stuff. Like, everybody comes out of the woodwork. Yo, I'm with you, man. That's awesome. You posted that. I love it.
Because they love someone that's getting out front and doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's authentic.
Yeah.
Someone asked me the day I was on their podcast, and like, so where does this love for America come from? And I'm like, I don't know if it was going to the parade as a young kid, and it was the St. Patty's Day parade or the Christmas parade, and it was the firemen, it was the army, it was the rifle shots, the flags, whatever it was. I thought I lived in a great country, and then I've been sold on an idea if I could do whatever I want. And as I look around the world, I'm kind of smart. Like, this is still the best place to do it, even though we're in this environment, and it's always been the best place. And everybody else is trying to steal what we're doing. China's trying to replicate our GDP.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty great place. And then you start to think about, oh, well, what about all the veterans and all of the wars since World War I that lost their lives to save this idea of America? And, we're fucking scared to speak out online. You're soft.
Yeah. No,
You're soft. And again, I know why we naturally go to, we shouldn't say that, because now I'm putting myself out there for these targets. Well, they better be good.
Yeah.
They better know how to get to me and be faster than me.
Yeah. That meme stuck with me over COVID where they're like, our grandfathers, and they were getting out Doomsday out of the fucking back, and then there's like the kids now with the mascot and they're hiding behind the chair.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Where's the masculinity?
We're in a mass psychosis. So I get your point, and it's any CEO, as you saw during COVID, had to go play that game. Right? They had to go down the middle. They had to go get into the trans shit and everything. The NFL as well. Because as a CEO, I got to take my emotions, my personal thoughts out of it, and how do I make the company a maximum dollar? Well, I'm not the NFL. I'm not a corporation, and I'm an American first before anything. And it's my country and my family in that order. Because without my country and freedom, my family doesn't have the life that I thought that they were going to live.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, more of us need to do a good job. And I'm not saying get out there and buy guns. I'm not saying out there and, protest and do things that are illegal, but just simply speak up.
Yeah.
You know, does that make you a little bit of a target? Yeah, but again, what am I really doing wrong? I simply love my country, and I should be, outcasted because of that, or canceled because of that, or I should not say, like, I'm not good at not saying what's on my mind. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I've never been. So you talk about something that's going to eat me up is when I'm not being authentic about something I believe in. Now, it doesn't mean every conversation has to go political. I don't. But when it comes up and you're saying your side of it, I'm gonna say mine.
Yeah. No, I agree.
100%.
America's a great place. That's how you guys were able to,
Amen.
go get the following that you guys have that quick.
Yeah.
So how quick did it scale up to, a pretty good following?
So I think we got a shout out. There's another Instagram account, The Broke Agent. And I remember when I started in real estate, let's say I had 1,000 followers. He was up at like the 10,000 mark, and he was building just funny memes, videos, real estate related. And I would always send him stuff, and then we put out one video. It was Mike's idea of like basically just mocking realtors on TikTok when they like point at all this stupid shit, and it's like, so we did that, but we did him behind the scenes, like trying to direct this thing. He's like, cut. He's like, the fuck are you doing, man? Like this, you gotta be like, and he started like animate.
Yeah.
So the broke agent thought
I'm so glad
great.
that trend's over.
Yes.
There's so many.
It's so stupid, but
It's like I'm 5'4", blonde, 46,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
naked on Instagram. Go to my OnlyFans.
yeah, it's like-
Exactly. There's also like one where you're like lip syncing and people are taking clips from movies, like, and it's
See,
insane.
and this is an off-camera conversation, but you're saying your focus and your passion is doing comedy and acting and bringing smiles to people's faces. So you're not chasing a trend. You're
Right.
still doing what you wanted to do, and you were able to hop on a trend that was currently going on, but you're doing something you're passionate about. Like, I'll never chase around what the algorithm's doing. I've said from day one, I stay doing what I'm doing, and then my people will find me when I pop.
Right.
And I had one reel go do 1.3 million quick.
Yeah.
And it had 35,000 new followers.
Yeah.
And crazy engagement. So
I want him to finish that your story about the, about like that broke agent and whatnot, but as far as like the trend, it's everybody was doing the actual trend.
Yeah.
Like that one that's like, I'm from Jersey.
Correct.
Of course we do this. Like,
Yeah.
we'll take a trend
make a
and
mockery
make
of
a
it.
mockery out of it
Yep.
in like a, in my opinion, a smart way. But anyway, I wanted him to.
yeah, it was tact
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah, I think it resonates, and he posted that, and people loved it because there's so many agents that see the trendy agents doing those things. They're doing it just because they think this is going to catapult me like it did for them. So then when they see us come along and like just completely make a joke about it and like, stop taking yourself so seriously, guys. We're not doing God's work here.
Yeah.
We're selling a house.
Yeah.
Like, relax.
Yeah.
Then they resonate with that, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh man, we thought we were the only
Yeah.
ones who thought this was stupid.
I thought I had to do it.
Yeah. So I don't know, that one took off, and then we started just sending him stuff and he would share it, and we owe a lot of the growth to a bigger account reposting. If that makes
And what do you guys do? You do anything together? Have you done any collaborations?
with
like.
The broke agent, I'm saying.
yeah, we almost every post we started collabing on after that. We would send them, sometimes he'd be like, nah, you know what, you guys post that on your own, but majority of them started collabing.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's something we would consider doing in the future, like collaborating with other, real estate professionals or influencers or whatnot. But as far as like what kind of got us a good following was like kind of working with him. He has a really good platform for like, real estate humor and whatnot.
Yeah. I was thinking more along the lines of like getting together with him. Like, where is he at in the country?
Oh, he's in Cali.
Yeah.
I think he's in Naples now.
Oh, did he move?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Does he sell? Is he a real estate agent?
He was when he first started. And I even remember him posting something. He's like, guys, I have 90,000 followers. If everybody could give me $1, I won't have to sell real estate, and I'll just make memes for you guys.
So how is he monetizing it now? Is it a subscription on Instagram? Is it YouTube? Is it?
He created this like a platform like a called Broke Agent Media, where he like has trainings, like really well-known people in the real estate space that are like, you pay a subscription, and he has all these different resources where people I'm a member of it, and he has some good stuff. It's a good way for him to he basically built a media company.
Yeah.
For real estate agents.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you monetize it. You can monetize it. Do it.
Yeah.
So, where did you go from there? All of a sudden, you got this new following. You're like, no, right, this is a lot of work, right? To put out a new reel. I mean, how often are you guys putting them out, or how often were you putting them out?
We're inconsistent. We're not organized when it comes to that stuff. We're we get an idea, we'll film it, we'll post, and then we could go dark for 2 weeks, and then we'll come up with another idea. I mean,
it's tough because this is what we love to do. We're together every day. We're best friends. We're family. We're business partners. We do a lot of good business though. We invest in business. We have our own Airbnb. We have rental properties. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we also sell real estate for a living, and we have families and whatnot. So it's on top of all that, we still find time to do it, but it's not easy to juggle it all. But I feel like when we get in sync and we think we get an idea and we're both excited about it, and then it just kind of
Clicks
very quickly. It's almost
it's the flow state.
Yeah,
you ever read Chasing Fire? I think it's called. It just basically was when you're in this state where you're not thinking of anything else. You're just
it comes to you.
Yeah, it's like surfing, meditating for each individual. But
and that's why putting out the reels every day is so much work, because you got to go create that. First of all, it has to stay on your brand, right? You don't want to dilute the brand, and you have to have a storyboard to it, or humor, or education, or inspiration, whatever it may be. It's a lot of work, but it's obviously working out for you guys. And what's funny about different podcasts, in between, we always end up getting caught in another conversation, and then we don't get the cameras rolling. Yeah. But to catch the viewers up, we were just shooting the shit about hey, what do I do with this thing? My passion is comedy, my passion is acting. My end result is definitely to get to a show. That's what you guys want to do, and you're pretty focused on it. But in the meantime, it's what can I do with this that helps drive some other revenue, so we could focus on giving more of these things to our viewers, and maybe working on the show a little bit more than in our regular job. And I was about to tell you guys, my friend Keaton, the Muscle, they were on a show called Diesel Brothers. It ran eight seasons on Discovery. And the way they started was doing stuff on social media, doing a giveaway. They were building this $75,000 truck, and all the Diesel Brother fans will probably check me on that, but whatever the number was. And they said, we're going to sell shirts, and they ended up selling $1 million in shirts.
Wow.
And $1 million in shirts. The truck only cost me 70 grand, 100 grand, right? We're doing pretty well. And that kind of was the way that they were funding what they were doing, but they were building trucks with their friends, chopping things up, making these extreme buses. Go check out Heavy D's YouTube, and Diesel Dave and Keaton. I'm these guys have really just done whatever the hell they want to do, and they fly around helicopters, and they have cabins in the woods, and they're all types of toys that every dude would love to have. And they did that all off of a giveaway that was really just funding them chasing their passion. And after a while, Discovery obviously noticed them and picked them up, and that just only helped amplify their viewership. And then they have monetized it after with YouTube. And
they did all that before the Discovery thing.
They did a Jay Leno show. Jay Leno picked them up with cars, and then Discovery found them that way. And for a while, they're yeah. And then they picked up the show, and these guys got millions of followers each, and Heavy D's got a really big YouTube. Keaton has launched a coaching group, and kind of a limitless teaching mindset. He really believes in it. He's probably one of the fastest growing speakers. Really? He's he's run a bunch of different businesses as well. But if I had to give him any real credit, and he has helped me as well, as he can move people. He can move you off your block. If you kind of want to do something, but you're hesitant, he's got a way to learn you and move you. And that's a talent, and it's worth paying for. Sure. So he's kind of launched a whole, call it coaching group, based around that. And they did some serious revenues last year, and now he's throwing huge events with Gary Vee and Goggins and Ed Milet and Andy Fragile and all those dudes. Those are Keaton's friends, and that all started with like selling T-shirts, because we were talking about, for the viewers, we were talking about, hey, why don't we create some funny, some of our funniest skits on a T-shirt or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Just get a couple extra bucks. For the people that don't realize, like, social media is extremely hard. Cameras are expensive. Editing's time consuming. When you're doing all that, you're not out selling a house, which is your main job that pays your bills right now.
Yep.
So if I could sell, call it 1,000 shirts at $35, that'd be extremely helpful as you spend money on cameras and stuff to keep doing this for people. But if we don't try those things or open those markets up, they're not going to come. People are just going to keep watching, right? But they probably want to buy a T-shirt.
Yeah,
that's funny. So. Can I plug my T-shirt?
Yeah, company? Absolutely.
Because of the shit that was going on in Target, they started pushing all this crazy shit to the kids. So me and my son came up with "Boys Will Be Boys."
Yeah, that's illegal.
Yet to be. Oh yeah, it's nuts. So we put just good old-fashioned like images for boys on a T-shirt. He helped pick them. We created it with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Or not Chat, a different
AI like something
thing,
like that.
just to mess around and learn how it goes. And we created a website for it.
What's the website?
It's BWBB Store. Boys Will Be Boys Store.com.
Yeah. Now that's a mission. That's attached to still wanting to chase down the show, right?
Just creating revenue to help fund. Yeah.
And you're passionate about, like, it's okay to boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? There's a reason you did that in a way to express yourself and what Target was doing.
And help for myself. Yeah, it's a combination of everything.
Yeah, of
Tell my
course.
son, like, hey, look, we did something. We didn't just sit back and
he learned something.
Yeah.
Technology and how you use AI, and that stuff's crazy, by the way.
It's out of control.
You put things into ChatGPT and I'm like, ChatGPT, like, that makes me sound way too smart. You gotta dumb this out. More aggressive, I tell it.
Yeah.
This is too nice. This isn't me.
Yeah.
So, like, it's so cool to see all the different ways that people have utilized this stuff, right? Whether it was an intelligence weapon created or not on us, it's definitely spun back on them now, right? Because how do you control, billions of people that are on social media platforms, and everybody's doing all types of things with it? It's, helping people with suicide, helping people understand what's going on in different parts of the world and different charities, helping people with business, helping people with their health, helping people with their mental health,
helping people with their property descriptions.
Correct.
No, we do use it for that.
But that's like an elementary, what you could do. But that's what.
There's a ton of ideas.
We're doing God's work, like we said.
Yeah. Your realtor's extreme. Just listed, just sold. Just listed, just sold. I remember I went after realtors on my story, and people always take me too serious, because I really am like, you think I'm serious, but I'm so fucking just rounding you up, busting your balls. And I remember going like, just listed, just sold, just listed, just sold. Like, no one cares. That's the weirdest thing for me too in real estate. Not to bust on realtors. I know you guys love them.
No, we do that.
Yeah.
So
what if I just put it out like, just rolled over $1 million, just got $100,000 life premium, just did a $700,000 deal, and all of a sudden people kind of understand the commission I make on rolling over $1 million and the life insurance. All of a sudden they're like, I'm putting out there how much I'm making. It's
the weirdest thing. For some reason, that's the real estate.
But that's also why a lot of people hate realtors. So to go the approach,
we're with you, man.
I do it. Because my theory was, you have to show people that you're working, that you're busy, that you're like someone who's successful. But
so I'm so different.
Yeah.
People don't know what I do. I barely ever talk about finance. Unless you watch the podcast religiously, you don't really know what I do. Yeah. I'd rather be exclusive.
Yeah.
I want to be the quiet club that just hangs out with people who do big shit. Mm-hmm. And you need to pay to get to me, or you need to be referred into me, because you're creating that hunted versus hunter.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you the business I'm doing. You can see in the actions of how I live and what I do and the moves I make.
That's true.
It creates more curiosity.
It's weird. It's like a necessary evil for real estate for some reason. I hate it too.
But I have I feel like I've gotten more business. Like if I do a post on like a deal and I tell a story and it's heartfelt and whatever I do, and I'm appreciative, like I feel like I do get a lot of business from it. Maybe it's just...
Listen, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
telling a story of something that really went on that impacted you.
Right.
You're showing some emotion on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're good with that.
That's way
true.
different than just posting a picture of just listed, just sold.
You know, I'll always talk about the transaction, how much I've learned from it, how I connected with the clients, and how
Yeah, and
much
it's
I
genuine.
enjoy being in real estate.
Yeah.
And then I feel like people, and I mean it, I'm not just bullshitting.
Yeah, you're authentic.
Yeah.
But people feel that. They can feel that through the phone.
Yeah.
You know, like that's great. But if you're just putting just listed, just sold, just listed, just sold,
I know.
Yeah.
and then their stories are just your G-Wagon, I'm like, this guy's a douche, you know?
I actually am sick of my own face, and it's my old headshot. It looks nothing like me right now.
It's so narcissistic, everything we do online. It is, but
Yeah.
it's like, okay, am I the guy that like loves that I have a beeper and I'm on a golf course and I love you, Kelly, but my wife can't get a hold of me, you know, like she can't call the beeper, right? It could beep, hey honey, get home, or you know, the words you used to be able to spell it on a beeper.
Yeah, throw the 911 in.
Okay, but now I have a cell phone and you know, I hate that people all have access to me, but I just tripled my income.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if you're not utilizing social media, you're the old dude still fighting, you know, the cell phone when you got the beeper.
Yep.
And the cell phone's been out for 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's adapt or die.
Yeah.
Right.
And along, you know, the adapting process, there's bumps. It's been terrible for kids. You know, suicide rates are up super high, depression. A slew of things, right? You know, how the media has spun shit to us, you know, in a fabricated way through social media. So there's a ton of negatives to it, but I think there's a ton of positives, and we're learning as a generation how to manage it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that goes to another topic of like, you got to step up as a parent too and get involved in your kids'
Don't
life.
be lazy.
And stop letting
Right.
the fucking phone tell them what life's about. Get them off of it. Take them out.
So I have a question for you guys, and I'll tell you my stance on it.
Yeah.
And I'm not judging you either way.
Yeah.
But when do you think a kid should get an iPad or an iPhone?
21.
I think it all depends on the kid in a lot of different ways. Meaning, but I think at bare minimum, like no kid should be in front of a cell phone or a tablet at least until they're like 6 years old. I mean, I don't mean that in like a like
They can't see the parents or
like just like to because
the skills of it.
Ryan and my siblings and like friends of mine, like I feel like he did an excellent job with keeping it away from his son. His son's super chatty, super vocal because they didn't allow him to just kind of vegetate in front of a screen. I think it's proven that it does, like, you know, lead to learning disabilities and whatnot. And I hate that it's there. Like but I also think there's a balance where like it is going to be the world they grow up in. It's going to be tech driven. They're going to have to be able to, you know the basics. But I don't think they should be like. There's no reason for a kid to have a cell phone or a smartphone, I think, until at least they're in high school or out of high school.
So I used to think a lot like that.
Shit.
Where it was like, hey, I'm putting my kid at a disadvantage. I was at a disadvantage, and my parents worked extremely hard, and I appreciate everything about them. They're great people. But I was at a disadvantage of my economic situation. When other rich kids had a leg up on me because they were hanging out with the kids at the big colleges, and then their dads all had big jobs together, and then they were at those golf courses and getting job offers from their friends' dads, and you know that's a real thing, right? It's your social economic circle. But here's where I challenge you, and I thought about it, and my kids won't have it till they're like 15, 16.
Yeah, I think that's
And I see people bury their kids in their podcasts. I love Matt. He's one of my best friends. He does everything for me. You know, Matt's kids are on the tablet a lot. It doesn't bother them. They monitor the time on it. But I watch like how crazy they get when you take it away from them.
Yeah.
When we were younger, when did you get a cell phone? How old were you?
I was
Not till I got my
junior in
car.
high school.
You were a junior in high school. You had no technology of any sort like that. How quick did you learn the cell phone?
Yeah, very quick.
But we had still like Snake. It was
like
the
a snap
Nokia.
That's what I had.
Like,
Snake, like the ugly ass
wasn't
gold
like
or
what-
silver
right.
color, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't know we didn't have any of that.
No.
And how
Yeah.
quick did we adapt?
True.
Yeah.
You're right.
So is them getting a leg up on being better at how to use a tablet faster, does that matter? Because that's going to change anyway. The tablet they got at 7 doesn't even going to exist at 14.
It's true.
So I think it's more important for the kid to not be involved with the fucked up shit that's on social media.
100%.
Dude, you ever see your kids' YouTube? All of a sudden, some weird ass shit will pop up and some dudes dancing in like underwear, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I know.
I just
drives me nuts.
I just had Blippy on. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's a scary place.
I get mad like when I see at restaurants and stuff, and maybe these parents need a break, but nobody does the sit-down dinner anymore at 5 o'clock like we used to do. Like we were on the dot, 5, 6
If you weren't, you were in trouble.
Yeah.
You had to be there. We all sat. We all talked. The TV was off. And parents are like, well, we just want to relax and have a drink. It's like, no, you're a fucking parent and you have kids.
Yep.
And you need to involve them in the conversation that you guys are having. Otherwise, it's like, oh, thank God.
Yep.
And now it's just, I don't know.
And I get it. The kid's screaming on an airplane. I saw a parent like, oh, you watch your iPad, and there's times where Kelly will let my son Colton watch a show because he's just out of his mind, and we need to let him like chill out a little bit. And my wife is the most patient, and she's very anti it more than I am.
Yeah.
But I just believe like there's other ways to do things. And I mean, if you don't sit down every day, like for me, my kids are involved in my business. Like they hear what I have going on. And they're listening, they're watching, they're learning. I'm always present because of the setup that I gave myself with how I built the business. So my kids, they're gonna learn, they're gonna see that I'm using it. They're just not allowed to touch it. There's bad things on there. There's bad people on there.
Right.
I tell my son, like, I'm using it not to just be on it. I'm using it for work. There is good to it in that sense, and explain that to him.
When you're older, you know how to use the good of it and stay away from the temptation of the bad.
Yeah, I feel like because you just hand it to them, it is like there's studies on it similar to cocaine, like the way it stimulates the brain. So
it's dopamine rush.
Yeah, so giving them that is just, so if that's not there, then that could snowball into like, I need something else. I need stimulation. I need drugs, like when they're teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't know how to cope with
chilling.
Yeah.
Being bored.
I mean, it could backfire on me. My son could end up smothering me in my sleep when he gets older. But
I think they'll develop and they'll find other things. Go outside.
Yeah.
Ride a bike.
We're out our whole.
Go shoot a BB gun.
Yeah.
Like go kiss a girl in the woods. Like I don't know. Like just go like be a normal kid like we were.
Yeah.
Like video games are the worst. They're the most addicting.
I know.
I see like 38-year-olds still playing like gun shows, and I love you guys, and some of you watch this, but like I'm like, this guy's a loser. Like what is he doing? But he can't stop playing it. He's probably been playing it since he was 12.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we don't do.
We kind of lucked out with that too. Like we were already developed and older, and then they
I never cared for it. My friends, even younger, played like, Sega Madden, and like, dude, they were just insane with it.
Yeah.
When I was
we had
in college,
Nintendo.
I got into like, I forget what it's called, like Final Fantasy. I was in college, and I remember it tracked how much time you spent on it, and I think I beat it, and it took like, I don't know, like. It was like 140 hours, and I'm like, I wasted 140 hours
of my life
sitting here, and then that was I literally have not played it. I mean,
I'm a loser. I need to put this thing down.
I never I was like, that's just obscene that it,
And then there's the parents that are like, well, there's people who make video games that make billions, and I'm like, okay, like, what's the rarity of like doing that? And if your kid really has a great coding mind that way, like. Great, like I get it, like cool, let him go do that, but
I was gonna say your son's eating the remote.
Yeah. Hello, wake up.
Yeah, I don't know if he's well, maybe.
He might be able to do it. Yeah. Maybe he's gonna be a scientist. I love what you guys have built, and it's funny, we met through renting your property up in Wyndham, and she was like, hey, you gotta connect with these guys.
Sounding board.
But think about how, you guys have a pretty large following, as do I. Like, I didn't know you, you didn't know me. Think about how crazy it is. We're only an hour apart in the state.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe not even.
Yep.
So it's just insane how.
We're come over like every day in the summer.
I'm moving. I'm out of here by May 25th.
I forgot.
Well, we're gonna miss the yard. We're gonna miss the Fireside set. But the next set, that we're dreaming up right now is going to be absolutely sick, and I promise everybody that it's going to be better than this, and we're going to have a big American flag as well, and
Awesome.
yeah, we're going to have some different environment, some woods behind us, and we got some cool stuff coming that we want. We're going to start throwing together more round table talks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where we're just kicking ideas back and forth about business or deals we can disclose that are done, that we're working inside our mastermind group, where we'll talk about how it came to fruition, busting each other's chops and bringing on different people besides just doing the interview piece. That's a lot of fun to me as well. I just love business.
Yeah.
And I love to see something from start to finish and kind of the bumps and bruises along the way and then the final result.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see your guys' final result, whatever that may be, a show.
Yeah. I was gonna say we're still figuring that out.
I will say though, and I don't know if this is I'll say that we know we have a special thing going on in that we're best friends.
And brother-in-laws
now, and we're business partners, and we make each other laugh every day. I swear to God, from the moment we get in the office to the end of the day, we're always just having a good time. It's a great place to work, and I'm very grateful that we connected, that he's in my life, and I feel like something big will come that'll make sense.
I fully agree with you as well. And I think that I should get on one of these and come up as the buyer. Just start breaking your guys' door down. What the fuck? You didn't tell me the lawyer's supposed to get this. What's going on? Tell that buyer I'm not fixing the crack.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Do something funny.
We'll come up with something good.
And my realtor would be like, that's really how he is. That's what he did to me. Real estate transactions they're difficult. My good buddy Trevor West, the Real T West, he started doing that Flipping Friday. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that on Instagram.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Young kid, went from trucking into real estate. We taught him, digital infrastructure, and his passion is real estate, flipping some houses, obviously selling them as well, to help fund all of that. And he's just, he's a guy that has done a really good job, and I'm happy to have that type of guy around, and that's somebody you guys should connect with as well.
He's a Jersey guy?
He's a Jersey guy, yeah.
Oh, nice.
He's right here. I don't know where I was going with that. Matt, where did I start with that? My ADD kicked in. Totally went off topic. What was I talking about?
You were talking about
Come on, remind me.
Friday.
Flipping Friday, I know, but that was Trevor. Why did I bring Trevor up?
Where the hell are we?
What was I talking about? You can do whatever you want with the social media. You can bring it to wherever you want it to go, and it's fun. It's cool.
Real estate transactions.
Real estate transactions.
Right? It's not.
Yeah, well, I forget what we were talking about. But real estate transactions are tough.
Yeah,
that's what we were starting with. I was just saying, watching his in the office. He rents an office from me. It's just like. The deal's literally right here on the goal line, and then someone's like, "I don't want the house." And you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
You just went through a 3-month inspection, and other than out of nowhere, someone asked for a $12 credit, and you're like, "Oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you $12." And you're like, "What?"
Dude, it is an emotional roller coaster, to say the least.
I just did it with our house.
Yeah.
It's.
You don't know. It's you got to get that check in your hand before, even the day of closing, an hour before, things can go awry, and you're like, "Are you kidding me?" But once you get the check and it's official, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
I think.
A lot of times you are selling someone an asset and helping them secure something that is for the lifestyle that they desire. Anytime we buy a house, it goes back to that American dream.
Yeah.
Right.
Even us in this new transaction that we're going into, we're so excited to hopefully get this off-market deal, fingers crossed, and start our new life that we've dreamed of 10 years ago when Kelly and I got together.
Yeah.
That's a great feeling, and you do get to be a part of that. And you get paid.
Yeah.
And if you had an agent help you find that house, they become ingrained in your story. It's like they're a part of it, because unless you found it and they just happen to.
Trevor did find it for me. Yeah.
So it's like then all those memories that you're creating and the experiences you have there, it comes back to the fact that
you're thankful
that realtor,
to them.
Yeah. So that I honestly love that aspect of it. Yeah, the money's great and the freedom and stuff, but when people are like, "Thank you so much," you have no idea, and they're emotional. you feel like you did something
And you
right.
know you put them in like a good financial position.
Yeah.
You're like, you got a good deal on this place. You guys are going to be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And you get paid to do that. Again, win-win. I'm always in for a win-win.
For
Right.
sure.
Real estate is a crazy business. You can do it in the multifamily space, flipping.
Commercial.
I started getting into commercial too, and you really have to be even keeled, like, because I could see people just like losing their mind. Like, we had a guy, the deal came out of nowhere. I found the property. We put together a deal for like 12 million, and then the same day that the deal gets signed and sent over, he calls me back and goes, you know what, I don't want it. And I'm just like, it's just driving like dead inside.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all good.
Guess I got to go back to work.
Yeah,
I'll
like-
sell the $500,000 house.
Gotta
You
find
always-
another one.
Ryan always says it's neither a fortune or a misfortune from like that proverb. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
that,
Just-
but
It just is.
it
It's
is
just,
what it is.
Fast,
Yeah.
feast, or famine.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, it's just, you know, that's a commission-based job. That's any business. It's really any small business.
Right.
You know, you don't really know exactly how many dollars are going to walk through the door tomorrow as a retail or
Yeah.
a service-based business. You know, who's calling me to get my toilet fixed, or you know, who
Yeah.
needs some new wiring as an electrician. You know, a realtor is a business as well, and you know,
Yeah.
who knows who needs to sell a house tomorrow.
It's so true.
It's just super important to always, like, we're very much like you with the positive mindset. Like, every day I wake up, there's no fear of lack. I know.
It's gonna come.
I say to them, things always work out for us.
When
It's been like a mantra.
I don't want to tell the story yet because it's not done.
Okay.
But like this whole selling of the house and deciding to do that, and who I ran into, and what's going to go on now because of that at another house I looked at, and how I found this guy, and the deal we put together, and what the situation was, is going to be insane.
Yeah.
And it's because you took that step. And I always tell people, you have to walk through the exercise. You have no idea what it costs, what it's going to be, what's going on, what the future is. And you've got to get yourself more connected to the end result of what that exercise is than the anchor that's keeping you where you are today.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So by the time you get to the end of that exercise and you go, fuck, there's X, Y, and Z there, profit, 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 happiness, there's no way I'm not figuring this out now. Okay, maybe I don't have the money. How do I find it? How do I borrow it? How do I go into, debt?
Right.
Walk through the exercise.
Yep.
Yeah.
No matter what the business is. Same thing with you guys. You want to go do a show? Figure out how we do a show, how many things we need to do, and go all in on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's recruit some other realtors that you guys throw your leads to, right? If that's something you wanted to do. But the social media is a special place. You can do whatever you want. Real estate is, you can go in any area of it that you want. I love your guys' story. I don't know where you're going from here, but I know it's somewhere big. I look forward to doing something that we can collab on, doing something funny.
Absolutely, man.
Something
we
fun and funny.
reconnected. We're like, dude, we made it.
I mean, the fact that we connected the way we did, and
I believe in
guy
divine
you are-
intervention.
Yeah.
absolutely. We're on the same level. You're an awesome dude, and we're so happy we
Yeah.
connected with you, Rob.
You're good,
Appreciate you
you're
having
good
us
people.
on.
Lindsay's the best. She doesn't get the fame over here on the camera looking handsome like you two, but
I'm quiet like you. I just take it all in and I get the rewards, but I don't have to be seen.
yeah, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I try to hide more. Actually, I'm out front. I'm trying to hide more.
I was gonna say I would have switched with
Why you
her.
don't like, talk about your business and you let me
Yes.
figure it out. Like,
Correct.
I like
Yes.
that.
We're on the Nunya, the
Yeah.
Nunya business.
You gotta hunt me down. You gotta figure out how I did this. Two things I like to ask people is, what other business owner, center of influence, someone in your life as a small business owner in your space that you want to give some love to, give a shout out to. You can name one each.
Oh. Wow.
God.
I think I would have to say the broker I'm with now, Keith, lured me away from another brokerage that was great, but he just opened me up to like
Different way of thinking.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like we were the same exact mindset, and I had no intentions of leaving and doing anything different. I was starting to get comfortable, and it was like right at the perfect time where I was starting to get comfortable that he's like, hey man, look, there's other options, come here. And we thought exactly alike, and so then that got us to where we are, and then brought
What was the
them in.
brokerage? What's the brokerage name?
At the time we were Better Homes and Gardens, but then they sold off. Now we're Howard Hanna Rand Realty. It's a mouthful, but they're the biggest privately owned brokerage in the country. They're just a little bit bigger Midwest. Like
Got
that's
it.
where their core is. So
Got it.
I'm gonna say who he should have said. No, I'm kidding. But
because I'm gonna be like, fuck.
no, I think we got to shout out your mother, my mother-in-law, because she got a real estate license first.
Yes.
She's a realtor. That's why. Well, you got your
I'm
license.
thinking
because of
business
her,
owner. I'm thinking.
And then I got mine, and Lindsay got hers.
Sorry, Ma.
No. But I feel like we're big family people. I think that she deserves a shout out because she's kind of like the matriarch of our whole crew, and we love her for it. And I also would shout out my brother, who's a real estate attorney, and he's the only attorney I know I can call and immediately get, and will answer any question I have. And then I hang up, and I feel like I don't give him any appreciation. So.
God damn
Well, what's your
it.
brother's business name? What's his business?
Oh, he's an attorney, Red and Masry Law in Totowa. He's an awesome attorney. He cares about his clients. My whole family is attorneys, judges,
It's great.
you know.
It's good people to know.
Yeah.
So he gets the complete kudos with mom. He's
Yeah,
like,
that just really buried me. I can't
my mother-in-law's gonna watch this and be like, Ryan, why can't you talk about me that way?
Ma,
We can
he
reverse
said
it.
business owner, and I thought
Here's her new favorite son.
Yeah, that was unrelated. If it could have been anybody.
Lindsay, what does
Mom.
Mike want for dinner Sunday?
Damn it, man.
No, we should have went over that first, but
It's your mom. Here's your mom.
and she knows she's from Newark. She's tough, and she knows a lot about how to work with people, but a lot about real estate. She puts a lot of time in, more than I do. So I feel like.
Let me give one more plug and
Okay.
why it's so important that I didn't just shout her out there, because a few years ago I wrote a book, again, like going back to my son, and it was about like raising a child with a positive mindset and everything that we talk about,
Yeah.
but putting it in a format like a parent can read it to their kids.
Yeah.
It's long form, but like they can explain it. And I didn't mention her in the book. It's called It's Okay to Talk to Strangers. It was before that other book came out. I forget, by a bigger author. It was right before that, but I didn't put her in that. And I mentioned my dad in that, so
Yeah.
she was
You were
pretty
dead
pissed
there.
about
Yeah.
that. And now this
You didn't
just
get
really,
meatballs for 2 months.
He just buried me.
You're done.
You know, I couldn't think of anybody. I'm like, do I know a lender? No, if I say one, I'll ruin all the relationships with the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. No, don't say your lenders. Second question, and I want you both
one,
to.
and you know who you are.
I want you both to answer this. If you could tell a young person looking to do something fun online, looking to start a business, looking to jump from being a cop, a teacher, a fireman, what's the one thing that would be? And I'll start with you because I talked about jumping from teacher.
All right. Listen, teaching's a worthy profession. We need great teachers, and if you love teaching and that's your passion, stay in it. But if you're kind of doing something that you think is the safe route, that but you want to do something else, but you are letting fear hold you back. Like, what if I don't succeed? What if I don't make enough money? What if I need health insurance? And all these things are preventing you from moving forward. You have to take a leap of faith, because when you do, I know that God, the universe, whatever you want to say,
Lean into it.
that's what we're supposed to do.
Yep.
We're supposed to lean into the fear. We're supposed to take
We're hunters.
because when you're in alignment, it feels good, and this is what I need to do. It may not be easy, it may be a difficult path, but you got to stay on track, do what you feel is right, take a leap of faith, and you will never fail.
But
I really believe that.
And that's a great answer. We're here for the journey.
Absolutely, it's fun.
Okay, so I became a teacher, and again, I am not hating on teachers either. My wife was a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm a teacher. I'm doing gym class. I don't really love my life. Like, so that's your life. So
Right.
you died at 35. We buried your body at 75.
Right.
Yep.
Like, what, dude? So what did you do from 35 to 75? Like,
So true.
It's like, you got to find new passions to chase. Reinvent yourself.
I'll tell you this, I had people saying, literally, like, what are you, crazy? Do you know how good you have it? You have the summers off, you have tenure, you have benefits, you have all these things. Like, you're stupid. So many people want this job, and I still felt like I understand that. And I thought it for years until I actually decided to leave. And now that, I love them, but the same people that were telling me not to, a few of them have left their jobs because of me, and I feel like it's because you kind of gotta
You prove it.
Yeah,
You prove
like-
the concept.
One of my best friends was also a teacher and was like, kind of like, you shouldn't leave, man. It's good. And now he left, and we had a good conversation before he quit.
This is, and I said this in the last podcast or the one before, and this is nowadays economics. Your first $100,000 will buy you in a rental for about $2,500 to $3,500 a month. You have to have a car insurance. You maybe have some college debt, some other ancillary stuff, and feeding yourself. That's your first $100,000. Then you get married and you have two incomes, and let's say that you guys have a combined income of 180. Someone works kind of, partially part-time, and the other person's a full-time person making $100,000 a year. So you have $180,000 of household income. Sounds great, especially to a young guy or girl. We've only made, $10 an hour in our life. And now you go out and buy a house. Let's just say it's a $500,000 house at a 7% interest rate with 20% down is a $35,000 to $4,000 a month payment.
Yeah.
Right? And then that comes with other fixed costs. Let's call it all in now. As a couple with their 180, they have a easy $8,000 to $10,000 a month fixed cost.
Right.
And then you have taxes. So your first $200,000 of income gets you a mediocre house, probably in a mediocre town for $500,000. And I'm not downplaying anything. I come from lower middle class. I'm just telling you, this is just the reality of the economics today.
Yeah.
So in the Northeast, in New Jersey, if you want to live a decent life, go on vacation, be able to go out to dinner, you need to make $300,000. That $200,000 you didn't get to save in retirement yet. You didn't fund your kids' college.
Yeah.
You need to make $300,000 minimum to be able to live that middle class, upper middle class lifestyle because of where the dollar is at.
Right.
So when I talk, I go economics. That's where my mind goes. When I talk to a teacher, I never want to deter you from your passion. Then you better marry someone that makes $500,000 a year.
Or be okay with not going on vacation whenever
or be okay with living in a one-bedroom apartment for $1,800 somewhere that's probably not safe.
No, you're right.
And it's like, hey, when you make those decisions, don't allow your parents or other people to push you to the safe route. What do you want out of life? Is that a nice house? Is it in a nice town? Do you want a vacation to Vermont? Do you want to go to their Wyndham rental, right? What do you want to do with your life? That costs a certain. Work backwards from there when you're making your decisions as a young kid going into college. And again, that's no knock on teachers or cops or any of those people.
Of course. No, I agree.
I love them all. So, pose the same question to you.
Everything he said, and the one thing that you just touched on there was, I would say, don't ask anybody but somebody who's a expert or at a high level in the profession you want to get into. Don't ask your parents their opinion. Don't ask your wife. Don't ask your friends.
Johnny.
Well, he has a good point. He doesn't know anything about, let's say it's real estate or whatever it is you want to do. Go find that person, talk to them, and they'll amp you up. They'll get you into it.
Yeah,
they'll tell you what you need to do to get.
And those
there.
people don't want to be mean to you. They want to protect you.
Right. That's what it is.
They have an anxiety, like, oh my God, don't do that. You're not gonna be successful.
It's either protect or they're a little. Well, wait a minute. If you jump ship, then that means what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm
Cody
stuck.
Sanchez, she's
business. Yeah, she's awesome.
I'm gonna have Cody come speak at my event next year.
Yeah.
I talked to her team this year.
She's a beast.
Yeah, I want a bigger arena before I go do that. But she
buys and sells or like
businesses, small businesses, some medium-sized businesses as well. But she said the other day, she was like, it's really hard when you start to be super intentional about where you're going and everything you're spending your money on, your time, your energy, and you quickly find success and surpass the people that are around you because it's a direct mirror on themselves.
Yeah.
Because they are the same as you, and you now have gone and done that, and now they're done with you in your life.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy, but that's just the human nature.
Yeah.
I've seen it in my life big time, especially since doing the podcast to where I am today.
100%.
I feel like you touching on what Ryan said, and also what you said. I mean, people are going to try and protect you, and maybe they're selfishly telling you because they have a reason to. For how you live your life. But I feel like I'm getting better at only taking real advice from people that I consider thriving in life. Like if I'm not.
Are you living a life I want to live?
Right.
Or are you doing better than me?
Right. Are you so happy in your job or where you're making it, where you can tell me, stay where you... I just don't... I only listen now to people who I feel like are they thriving? Because that's if you're not, then you're in no position to tell me.
Or
what I
you're
should be
doing something that I want to do. I may not do exactly, like for example, I show that I'm able to go travel the way that I want to travel in my content. I'm showing you a story of inspiration and education on utilizing digital infrastructure, going and being a small business owner, controlling your own schedule. And again, it doesn't mean when I'm in Wyndham, I'm not working. I am.
Oh, right.
Especially if I have a content team there, I'm working.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing when I work. I'm choosing what hours I work in a day. I'm telling a story out there.
Right.
You know, that when you want to work with, as a business owner, you want to create something that you're able to go do, and you're doing that as a small business owner. You're doing that with social media.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
Literally
right.
anybody. It does not matter who you are or where you come from. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
Guys, this has been fun.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
It's been a blast, Ryan. Thanks so much for having
Thank
us.
you. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. My ADD's jumping around. You guys are awesome. I look forward to doing some type of funny collab.
Appreciate it.
And I look forward to see where you guys take this page and what you guys are doing.
We were told there would be food.
Food? Yeah, we can order fins right now. You want fins?
No, I'm kidding.
We got you.
No, we're going to eat. We're going to eat.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man.